It looks like he's about to attack my face. There he goes. Okay, there you go. Here he comes to save the day. All righty. Hello, and true believers. It is Eric's watching a ball game. This is usually a day where the ladies don't show up. It's going to be an interesting show with tonight. But we are doing Mighty Mouse comic book covers. But we're actually doing the Terry Toon Mighty Mouse, and that didn't even become Mighty Mouse centric until issue number 38. So should be fun. I think they're interesting covers and such. Darth Kato saying, fun fact, Mighty Mouse used to be called Super Mouse and had a suit a lot more similar to Superman, but eventually they changed to how we all know him. Also, by the way, I did a covering comics on Mighty Mouse, so go check that out. It's every comic book cover Mighty Mouse has been on from the very beginning all the way. I think I did it about 2 or 3 years ago, 4 years ago. So, and I think that's the last time Mighty Mouse had a series. So go check that out. It's a lot of fun. And it's one of those, I love doing those because the covers, I like looking at them on the big screen TVs and such, so on. It should be a good time. Hello to everybody. Grand Admiral Michael Taylor's in the house. Desert Rose, all righty. Well, there is one cool thing, even if the ladies aren't going to show up or if RDV hangs out, you don't get the voices. But we do go through them pretty quickly. And with that being said, let's go for book 1. All righty. Eric, you with us?
Yeah.
All righty. Oh, hold on. Lag check.
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 That's pretty good.
Wow. Okay, cool. All right, here's book 1. It is issue number 38 of Terry Toons.
I'll get 10 on this.
All righty. What is it about this cover that makes you go, ooh, that is a 10, sir?
They have the sign that says, welcome to Terry Toons Comics. They're giving him the key to the comic. That's cool.
All righty. Yeah, it is kind of like I like this. You're right. It's very much breaking that fourth wall there. So, yeah, okay. All right, I'm going to agree with you. That is clever. It's fun. It's simple in its execution. I like the shadows with clear hats. That is kind of fun and funky to me right there. Because, yeah. All right, let's go to the chat and see what they have to say about this. And here we go. Are you going to attack the pen all day? Is that what's going to go on? All right, he has been out for hours. Usually he gets a little bit feisty. All right, so we start with Jim Sorensen, who gives this a 9. Next up, let's scroll. Oh, hold up. We've got a Dalton up. Hey, Dalton, what's up?
Not much. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. I was actually surprised. I was like, well, Dalton's been away for a bit. And I actually put the invite. I did not think you were going to show up. Why the hell would you show up for Mighty Mouse? But hey, welcome, man. That's awesome.
You didn't tell me what the link was for. You just linked, and I was like, all right, well, I will humor this for the sake of the argument.
Yeah, I kind of figured the thing.
Also, incidentally, you still haven't shipped. Also, incidentally, you still haven't shipped my books.
I will do that. Okay, sir. I'm catching up to a lot of people here. All right. You want to join us for our cover ranking?
No.
Okay, well, you have a good time. Oh, tomorrow I was thinking about doing a top and bottom of the movie year last year. If you want to join for that, that would be awesome.
Sure. Yep.
All righty. Well, you have a good
See you guys later. Man. Cheers.
Nice to see you again. All righty. Cool. Little cameo from Dalton the Authenticator there, kids. All right, Desert Rose comes out with a 9 as well, and then Ken K has an 8. All right. I'm glad to see he's doing well. But seriously, I sent him a link because, if he wants to jump on, but I didn't think he would want to jump on for Mighty Mouse, so it was kind of a joke link, but good to see him. Grand Admiral comes in with a 10, agreeing with me and Eric, and then we've got hellos and highs, and Eric Boyd comes in with 8. Next up, we have Jeff Mack. 8. Interesting that key is a color combination of green and blue representing foreground and background. So, all righty. That's pretty good insight, giving us an 8. All righty. We also have Michael Taylor with an 8 and One Slick with a 9. And then we've got a 10 from Darth Cato saying, I agree. It's a fun way of introducing him to the cover. So we've got an 8. We've got a 9 and a 10. All righty. We may have a pin fight later, Grand Admiral, but for now I'm trying to calm him down. He's all puffy and ready to sleep. Alrighty, the Ethereal Dragon is giving this an 8, as well as Joe Rogers giving it an 8, a bouncy 8. Let's see. I think this is Mighty Mouse's first appearance. Maybe. I do that. This one I made dang near a year ago, and it just kept getting pushed back. So it may just be. All righty, let's get the stop. And this first book here has 6 8s, and it is taking out all 4 of the 10s and then 2 of the 9s, but there is 1 9 left. So we are starting off strong. Not perfect, but we are starting off strong here. And we're getting a 9. There we go. And let's move on to book 2. There we go. I remember my introduction to Mighty Mouse. I kid you not. There were cartoon booths at Dairy Queen where you go in, you put 25, maybe 50 cents in, and there was like a little video, a little TV, and you could sit and you could watch it like a 4 or 5 minute cartoon. Sometimes it would be Heckle and Jekyll, or which I think is the same company. And sometimes it was Mighty Mouse or any of those cartoons like that. Droopy also, yeah. All righty, book 2 looked a little bit like this. Okay, which is issue number 39 of Terry Toons. What? Oh, it's an atom bomb. Okay, it's not just a regular bomb that's about yay big, but it's an atom bomb that the bad guy is making the cat hit. Alrighty, I like the fact that his name is on the back of the cape as well. Oh no, this is a good setup, but I don't know. I'm not feeling the 10 out of it. I'm gonna go 9. I'm gonna go 9, Eric.
Why would Mighty Mouse? Why would the name be in that direction? If he was just standing there, it'd be upside down.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
I'll say 8.
Okay. Alrighty, and with that, we go to the chat. Let's see what we got. Eric Brain wrote his penny farthing to the Nickelodeon so he could watch clips of women showing their ankles. Okay. And that's how you spent your penny farthing. Let's see. LMAO, it's fine. He just find it amusing. I used to chase the dog with a vacuum until we broke it. The wife wasn't amused. Me and the dog both got in trouble. Yeah. Gail yells at me and the bird a lot. Why are you letting him eat the Fruit Loops near the bed? Yeah, okay. Because I'll put a Fruit Loop here, and when I sit up, the dust I have to, yeah. All right, anyway, Eric Boyd says 10, and Joe Rogers agrees with him. Alrighty, and then we have an 8 from Ken K, and 9 from One Slick, and a 9 from Grand Admiral, and an 8 from Jeff Mack, and an 8 from Darth Cato, and a 9 from Desert Rose. That's 3 8s and 3 9s. Okay, I'm going 9, mainly because no matter what type of cartoon, I've always hated that type of red nose, says Jim Sorensen. Oh, okay, the drunk nose. Penny farthing was a bicycle with those ridiculously large front. Okay. Michael Taylor is saying 9. And then we've got Darth Cato. Thanks. There you go. We get a thanks from Desert Rose and a stop from me. There we go. And let's see what we had here. We had 4 8s, taking out the 2 10s with 6 9s, but 2 get taken away. There's 4 left. And once again, we are at a 9. Okay. Let's see. Where are we? I need to find the cover. Here it is. And right now we are at 2 9s. And we're going to go for book 3 here. Did you ever watch the Mighty Mouse cartoons?
No. Oh.
No?
Wow.
Not a big. Oh? Oh, what? Wow.
Caleb Wilson. He does things that
sports things
that mortal men can't do.
Okay. Well, here's issue number 40 of wait a second. How'd that work? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, here, hold on. That's not issue number 40. That's issue number 40 right here. There we go. Hold on. Yeah. I was switching things around. And there you go. Okay, that's issue number 40 right here. There we go.
I'll give this a 10. Why not?
All right. Here we go. Well, I like the colors on it. It's usually the shading. Like, I like the shade. They always, by the way, Mighty Mouse is always given almost like female eyelashes a lot of times. But I like the color. I like the red cheeks. They went a little overboard on the cat. The red nose that Jim doesn't like. I guess that's going to be a feature here. But there you go. Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to agree with you on this. This is a very good cover. Very good. Yeah. Alrighty, and let's see. Here we go. And we've got Derek Boyd. Okay, I wondered what you were talking about. Very cool. Mighty Mouse trying to stop an atom bomb on a golf course of all things. My attempt at dig at Breen failed, just like my life, says Eric and Boyd. But hey, as G.I. Joe once said, knowing is half the battle. Grand Admiral says, well, the dog didn't have a job, so I had to pay for what?
No, I said, yeah.
Go ahead, Eric.
To Eric, it wasn't that it failed. It's just that, oh, you've got to be kidding me. I'm kind of paying more attention to the game that my boys are trying real hard to blow.
Like I haven't heard about that under the bridge a couple of times. All right, Eric Boyd gives it a 10, and Darth Vader says, I had a whole VHS tape full of Mighty Mouse cartoons. I watched it over and over until it stopped working, says Darth Vader. Some fun stuff. Let's see, Jim gives this an 8, and we have a 10 from Joe and One Slick Dude. Alrighty. Sorry, I forgot to tag you. Okay, they're talking among themselves. And let's see, Jim Sorensen gives it an 8 and a 10. Alrighty, both of them have the wrench. Alrighty, I'll just change it. And then we've got a 10, 10, 10, and 10 from Jim, Grand Admiral, Jeff Mack, and Desert Rose. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That actually, if you take away the 1 8 that Jim gave it, this is an immaculate 10 almost. Let's see. Some guys have gorgeous eyelashes, says Desert Rose. That's awesome. When I was in Thailand, there you go. Yes. When I was in Thailand, I would have people, like, when I would go and get some a noodle bowl or something, sometimes girls would go like this at me. And I was like, hello? And they go, oh, blue eyes. They never saw blue eyes before. All righty. Say again.
These guys are making
Oh, no,
threes.
that's not Porky Pig. There's an. Oh, go ahead.
They might as well set it to the noise.
Oh, you're watching basketball?
I mean, they're just going around. They're just going there. No. Boom. They're all going in.
Don't tell him that was Chevy Chase.
I don't care if it was Ted Knight. They're all going in.
All righty, we have a Ken K 8, and then Jim. Sorry, the 8 was before you changed the cover. Oh, okay. Yes, I should have said Eric Green has gorgeous eyelashes. Says Desert Rose, and Erica Boyd says that he will love you long time. Eric, I don't know where that comes from, but apparently he's got something for you there, man. Noodle Bowl. It was, they were above and beyond in Thailand. All righty. Let's get the stop here, kids.
Yeah, there was
kind of funny just to.
There was some kind of horrific crash in Thailand today, killed 30 plus people.
Yikes.
Of course.
Don't want that to happen.
5 straight threes. Jesus, Jones.
It's basketball. All righty, we have an 8. We have a 9, trying to take out 9 10s, but failing. And ladies and gentlemen, we have our first 10 of the night. All righty, cool. There we go. I mean, I thought you liked sports, but you're watching basketball. Okay, let's go for book 4. Go for book 4. Here we go. Actually, I used to be pretty good at basketball in my teen years. And here we go. It is book number 41, issue number 41 here, where we have Mighty Mouse knocking a cat out. But, okay, so that's weird. The creature that was putting in an atom bomb is now in the evil, I guess it's the bad guy cat. It's always a bad guy cat. It's Mighty Mouse. That's kind of odd. It looks fun. It's a fun cover. But I'm going to give it a 9. How about you, Eric?
I'm going to go one better.
All right. I like that one. Oh, cool. Oh, we have a crane fell on a train, killing 32 people. Damn. I broke my finger, says Desert Rose, playing basketball. A little less tragic underneath the train killed 32 or crane killed 32 people in a train. But yeah, that does suck. One Slick Dude gives this one an 8. And then 10, but why is Mighty Mouse wearing the exact same clothes every issue so far? That's his outfit. It's the same as like if Superman's on the cover of his comic, he's always in the Superman outfit. This is his outfit. I don't quite get that question. 10, poor kitten. Oh my goodness, it just scrolled up there. And that is from Eric and Boyd. And Ken K gives this an 8 and another 10 from Joe Rogan, as well as the Grand Admiral. And then we have 3 8s from Jim Sorensen, Ethereal Dragon, and Michael Taylor. So that is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 3 10s and 4 8s. 1, 2, 3, and then we got 1, 2, 3, and 4. All righty, let's scroll on down past Michael Taylor to find Desert Rose's 8 and Darth Cato's 10, saying that poor cat. All righty. Yeah, it's his usual punching bag, as a matter of fact. Oh, wow. Prayers for those people, family. It is. I'm sad to hear that. I hope. Oh, my gosh. I wonder if anybody I know. I know a lot of people not a lot of people, but I know a handful of people in Bangkok. I get it. Mighty Mouse can't afford dry cleaning. It's his suit. Batman, every Spider-Man, when he's on the cover, he's wearing the same clothes. All righty. MKF 30, we must have typed at the same time. What? All right, let's get the stop here. And hello to Summoner as we continue on. Anytime where it's just me and Eric, we do kind of breeze through these things. I always keep an eye out We're at 20 minutes. And that would say at book 4, which would mean that we might actually get done within an hour on this one. All righty. We have 6 8s, taking out all 6 10s. There's 1 9. And that is what this book ends up being. It's a 9. All righty. We now have 3 9s and a 10 as we move forward and go to lap number 2. Let's go for book 5. I never knew that Mighty Mouse had his name on his costume in the beginning. Go figure. Alrighty, here is book 5, Eric, issue number 42.
That's Alan. All right. I'm kind of liking these covers. I'm going to give this another 10.
I'm kind of enjoying going back to the golden age. I guess they, maybe it's not the nostalgia. It's way before both you and my time, but I'm enjoying it. There's just something about golden age covers. They're simple, but they're a lot of fun. We're going to see a few of them. Like we're going to see adventure comics coming up here pretty quickly. So yeah. Okay. Wonder Woman, as a matter of fact. Let's see. There we go. All righty. Let's. I give it a 10 as well. Mainly, I like the shading on the cats. I like. There's just not a lot not to like on this. And once again, very. By the way, I just noticed it's in a cage as well. Okay. Let's go to the chat and see what they think. With Jim starting us off with a 7. Alrighty, and then we've got an 8 from Michael Taylor and Grand Admiral March Hare giving this a 10, as well as Joe Rogers. So we've got an 8 and 2 10s. Next up, we have Jeff saying 9. Name on the costume mishap with the dry cleaning, I guess, says Jeff. Alrighty, and then Kincaid gives it a 7. Here I come to save the day. Now I got that song. I wanted to open the show with the theme song, but I forgot this computer doesn't allow me to do cool shit like that. All right, let's see. Eric and Boyd starts off with a 10, or doesn't start it off, but continues with a 10. Mighty Mouse taming the mean old cats. We've got a 10 from Desert Rose as well. Let's see. I can imagine hordes of us go to get the books and nothing, not money. I don't know what that is. Golden Age is king, says Michael Taylor. These are fun, better than Bone. I went there, says Eric and Boyd. Everybody's got opinions. Some of these are better than the Bone covers. Let's see. One Slick says 9. This was sold on military base as it has a star stamp on it. I said that I actually said that to somebody we were at the show, because I've got a copy of Mr. Miracle #1, and it had the name and on it the way that. Are you okay? Oh, here we go. Okay, he's get it. And you won. All righty, but yeah, I said the same thing. They didn't know that the Army stamped names and such onto product, or not product, but possessions. Let's see. That was 10 from MK. Mighty Mouse versus 4 Sylvesters. I'll say 10, says MK. And we have Darth Gato saying 8, and then Erica Boyd saying, I keyed. What was that? That's Ren, right? Oh my gosh. I'm seeing, yep, there we go. Let's see, 10. And then we have an 8 from Darth Kato. And then silver and bronze is great as well, says Michael Taylor. But I got 2 PS Wonder Woman, as a matter of fact, Lin Wine Perez Run Volume. 2 trade paperbacks. Lin Wine and Perez Volume 1 and Volume 2. Good stuff to get. I'm just giving you shit. I like bone. Can you guys see my post, says MK? Yes, we can. Mighty Mouse blows away bone, says Michael Taylor. I'm in, let's see, I know can't see him. Okay, just making sure. Theriel says 9. Okay. And MK says he thought nobody was seeing the post for a second. There we go. Alrighty, all's good. So let me get the stop. And we had, wrong one. We had 2 7s and 2 8s taking out 4 of the 8 10s, 2 9s, trying to take out the other 4, but missing by 2. This is second 10 of the evening, ladies and gentlemen. All righty, cool. I don't think this is going to be the last. I think we're actually going to have a little bit of a contest at the end of the night. All right, but for now, let's go for book 6. Okay. It's okay, boy. It's okay. Here, hop on this one. That way I can write with the other one. Thank you. He's a good boy. All righty, book 6 is issue number 43, and it looks a little like this. Okay. Now, granted, I guess I could have tried to find a better one because we got what looks like a penis drawn by the T and water stain on the bottom of the cloud. I do like what do they call that when it's the picture within the picture within the picture within the picture within? There's actually something that's actually called something. This one's okay. I'm gonna give it a 7. I think it's a little bit too simple for me. Eric, what do you think?
Well,
I mean, the penis adds something, but
I think it's troubling that your mind instantly went to penis there. You know what?
Okay,
really
well, what do you think?
You know who really would have appreciated this cover? That girl that was hanging out with us for a while before the Lester sisters.
Yeah, that's right. I remember.
She used to say all the time.
Penelope. It was Penelope or something like that, right?
She used to always say penis, penis, penis.
Yeah, that would be her thing, and people loved it. It was like, okay, do your thing. It's Judy, Judy, Judy. Nope, penis, penis, penis. That's what she would say. Yeah.
I'm gonna give this a 9 because anytime there's a cover within a cover, I always get a kick out of it.
Also, the penis.
No, that's
all right. Okay.
I see pistachio. Little bird.
You see.
Yeah.
You know, I'm talking about the.
I know what you're looking at. Yeah, right
above the bird. Okay.
You could have said, "I see the Nike symbol," because that's
not a swoosh.
If you ever thought,
okay. Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen the Nike.
I'm sorry. The Amazon.
Amazon is a penis. Yeah. Okay. All right.
They're huge.
That looks like a penis. What the hell does your penis look like? All right. So anyway, Jim gives this an 8, and Kincaid gives it a 7. All righty. And let's see. It's called an infinity cover, says one slick. And then we have a 7 from Joe Rogers and the Grand Admiral, as well as one slick and Eric and Boyd. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we have a 6 from Jeff Mack. All righty, exactly. I was only going to pick up KO3, says Summoner, and call it a day. But since the DC shipments didn't arrive, it's that kind of day at the comic book shop, huh? Desert Rose gives this a 9, and then we have a 7 from Michael Taylor and a 6 from Ethereal Dragon. We have a 9, we have a 7, and we have a 6. Since they didn't have talking about the day at the comic shop. Let's see, 5, the Duck and the Book are fine, but I'm not a fan of the way Mighty Mouse is drawn here, says Darth Kato. Okie dokies. And we have hello to the one and only awesome Jackson Raykirk, says Eric and Boyd. Hello to Jackson. Let's see. Did you hear DCKO is doing a multiverse crossover with Annabelle Homelander versus Superman, Sub-Zero, Shang Tsung? I heard about the Superman Homelander. I just wondered what they would do with the other 21 pages, assuming, you know. Let's see. Bump my score up to an 8 because of the Infinity cover, says Michael Taylor. All righty. And let's see. Can you do the same for me that Michael Taylor is asking? Change my score to an 8 as well. All righty. 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. Darth Kid, Red Sonja will fight Wonder Woman. Then what's the story? Like, seriously, if there was this planned or was it a new thing? Because if it's not planned, then what is the story all about? It just seems like, cash grab. I don't know. Maybe just me. I am a different breed of cat. Okay, what's going on? Oh, that's right. I should have brought the thing over so it would turn off. Okay, whoa, we had fewer people grading on that one, but we had 1 5 and 1 6 taking out the 2 10s. We have 3 7s taking out the 2 9s, 3 7s taking out 1 8, 2 7s are left. And boom, this is a 7, the lowest score of the evening. We even skipped the 8s and just went to the 7s. 1 7, 3 9s, 2 10s, and we go for book 7. All righty, here. Issue number 44. Hello, bird.
Don't know what I'm not feeling about this, but I'm not feeling something. So I'm going to go 8.
Okay. I, on the other hand, I kind of dig this. I mean, the cat's been getting his ass whipped for the last 7 issues. Finally, he's like, no! So, yeah, I kind of dig that. But why are you got all of the other Terry Toon characters behind him? For some, we're not going out. We're not going out. I don't care how many times you fly to the door. It's just not. You know I sit here and I do the show. You know this. We're not going out. All right? No. All righty. So we've got. You said 8, and I'm going 10 on this one. I dig on it. All righty. Going to the chat. Let's see. Red Sonja versus Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman wins in less than a panel. Okay. Superman versus Homelander, same thing. Let's see. Jim says 10 and Ken K says 8. All right. We got a 10 and we've got an 8. And then we've got 1, 2, 3 9s from One Slick Dude, Eric and Boyd, and Desert Rose, 1, 2, and 3. Next up, Joe Rogers gives this a 10, a bouncy 10, followed by an 8 by Michael Taylor. Shang Tsung doesn't stand a chance against Plastic. Nobody would. Dear Lord in heaven. Grand Admiral gives this a 10. Let's see. This was fun, but I gots to go, says Eric and Boyd. Everyone have a great evening. You too, man. Take care. Be safe. That's important. 8. All I can say is that I'm glad I'm not in the Mighty Mouse universe. Okie dokie. I think you would stand out as a human. Let's see. Actually, Summoner, Shang, and Sub have fought gods, or at least Raiden, right? Plastic Man is immortal, but he's been beaten and dealt with. Okay, let's get the stop. Bum 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 bum. Ba-da-ba-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. This one we have 4 8s taking out 4 10s. We have 3 9s, and that's where this lands. That's another 9. Not a bad cover. Not a bad cover at all. Some of these are pretty damn cool. Excuse me. Alrighty, but we will get the go for book or boo 8 because I missed the K and I'm too lazy to go back and put it in. All right, and book 8 is issue number 45, and it looks like this. And what do we have? Okay, all right, we got a little Pied Piper leading out the little children mice, and they're really just not taking the shortcut. Right? They're just following the green. You can see the line of mice going around instead of like the more direct version. I don't know why that would happen, but at least then we do get to see the amount of little children mice. I think this one is actually a step back for me. Maybe it's the same thing you didn't feel in the last cover, but it seems like ultra simple. Mighty Mouse looks fine. The cat looks all right. I'll give it an 8. Eric?
Ditto.
Okay, and let's go to the chat where let's see. Grand Admiral March Hare, wouldn't Raiden be able to fry Aquaman with lightning? Rose says 10 Superman would destroy Homelander in an instant. Yep. And then we got a 7 from Ethereal Dragon and 8 from Kim K. And a 10 from Joe Rogers, and then a 9 from Grand Admiral March Hare. Yeah, Plastic Man, to beat him, you just tie him down, strap all 4 limbs, arms, and legs to 4 stakes posts around, and he's stuck. Well, he could stretch to infinity, so you can't actually stick him anywhere. Let's see. Michael Taylor is saying 8, and Darth Kato says 10. I like it. Ha ha ha. I don't think Raiden and Aquaman are involved, but Woozy was. Woozy? Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Okay. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't Fuzzy Wuzzy. Clint loves this cover with a 10. And then we've got Woozy Wiz can have him against Shang Tsung because of his and Super. I can't read that. That's all in one. Okay, and let's get the stop here. And MK says 9 for this cover, remembering, hey, it's cover ranking. All righty. And with this, we have 1-7 trying to take out all 4 of the 10s. He can't do it, so the 8s come in, 4 of those, taking out the 3 10s and 1 9. And yep, that means one Slick says he was skipped. Let's see, 8. The 2-tone mouse sinks it for me with a black head and a gray body. Okay.
I think they're wearing their PJs.
That's what it looks like. I don't know. But then again, you do have a gray-headed mouse right behind him. But he's the only gray-headed mouse. I think the gray-headed mouse is the outlier. Or the freak who deserves to be ostracized. Okay, let's see. 7 taking out 1 of the 4 10s. We got 5 taking out the last 3 2. It is an 8. Okay. Boom, boom. And with this, that was our first 8 of the night. So we have 1 7, 1 8, 4 9s, 2 10s as we move forward through, and we go for book 9. We're down the last lap here, kids. There we go. I'm going to flip that. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 viewers, or voters, and score. Okay, and we are on, it would be issue number 46. Eric, this is issue number 9, or book number 9, issue number 46. Do 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 do.
I'm going to go 10, but not for the original cover because the 2 other animals are carrying autograph books, and somebody's already autographed Mighty Mouse's uniform.
I know, right? Who is that? That is Satan's Coffee. Satan's Coffee autographed Mighty Mouse's uniform.
Starbucks.
Oh, there you go. Yes. Terry Toon starring Mighty Mouse, the Mouse of Tomorrow. Alrighty, we get a 10 from Eric, and you know what? I'm going to go with that as well. Alrighty, and let's scroll and see. I've got to skip past all the Mortal Kombat shit. At this point, I'm sorry, man. I guess we'll see the fight goes some tournament. Lobos beat Wonder Woman. Really? That's ridiculous. Darth Kato says 10. Mighty Mouse looks high. Oh, we're going with that cocaine thing, huh? Actually, it looks on lewds here. So we've got, let me do that again there. 10 from Darth Cato and 10 from Jim Sorensen. Van and 2 and a 9 from Joe Rogers. Are 10 from Desert Rose, and King K says 8. And let's see. Titans are cosmic level. Okay. They're really into that DCKO. Is anybody, I didn't know anybody was really reading. I read the first issue and I thought, well, that's just a mess. It really was. It was a mess of a comic. I don't actually think they even know what they were going to do with it. MK says, I'll give this an 8. And let's see. We have a 10 from Grand Admiral, a 9 from One Slick, and Michael Taylor gives this a 9. All righty. And then we have Meth Mouse. Ethereal gives this an 8. KO is the front line. I read the Aquaman versus Hawkman comic and put it back. Do you ever watch those deathmatch videos on YouTube? I enjoy the Ghost Rider Lobo one, but I'm biased. My boy won. Did Ghost Rider end up winning? Clint says 9. I think that's who should have won that particular battle. Gotta love Mighty Mouse running away from autograph seekers, says Michael Taylor. And MK says everyone's about that multiversal thing now. Well, maybe if the crossovers are good, but what's the story to DCKO if they're just throwing that shit out? It just doesn't make sense. All right, let's get the stop. Are you trying to eat the keys off the keyboard here, boy? Is that what you're doing, walking around on my keyboard like that? All righty. We had 3 8s, taking out 3 of the 6 10s, 4 9s, finished the job with 1 9 left. All righty. We have been without a 10 for a little bit now. And as it stands, 1 7, 1 8, and this makes 5 9s. All righty. Not a bad score at all. But let's see. Whoops. Need to get these in here. 10, 11, and 12, which would be 47, 48, and 49. And the reason why it was 12 is because that's a year's worth of comics. That's true. That's why I do 12 of the what's going on? There they are. Okay, I am not seeing any comments. There we go. Okay, they popped in. All right, let's get the go for book number 10. Go for book 10. There we go. And it is issue number 47. There you go. And it looks a little bit like this. Terry Toon starring Mighty Mouse. And of course, you've got all the characters, not all of them, but a lot of the characters on the bottom. I think this is very simple. It doesn't really. Mighty Mouse is drawn well. It's just the cover. It's like, here's Mighty Mouse. That's about it. I'll go 8. I think everybody's drawn well enough, but it's 7. I'm going to go 7 because this is so simple. There's nothing to it. It's almost like a lazy cover in my eyes. Although I do kind of like the cloudy starring Mighty Mouse. Eric, what do you say?
8.
All righty. And let's go to the chat where Clint loves this one and gives it a 10. All righty. One Slick says 9. There you go. And then we have a 7 from both Darth Cato and Joe Rogers, as well as Ken K. So we got 3 7s. And then we have a 9 from Jim Sorensen. Next up, this ranking is going pretty fast, says Michael Taylor. When we don't have RDV and Amy doing all the voices and they're joking among each other, Eric and I are very, I guess, proficient, if not as entertaining. But there you go. Grand Admiral says 7. Mighty Mouse looks a little off to me. But everybody's, except for after a while, had to stop reading the Mortal Kombat, but I do read off everybody's comments. So there you go. We got a 7 from Grand Admiral. And we had an 8 from Summoner, Desert Rose, and Michael Taylor. 1, 2, and 3. Curious, who do you think is overall more popular, Mighty Mouse or Speedy Gonzales? And who's faster, honestly? I'm going to give both to Speedy Gonzales. I think Mighty Mouse is kind of fallen. Speedy Gonzales at least had the controversy. What's his name? Fluffy. He's a comedian. He was pushing because somebody was trying to cancel Speedy Gonzales for being Mexican. And the comedian was like, no, Gabriel something.
Iglesias.
And he was like, fuck that. That's my childhood. Thank you very much. And he kind of fought back against it. I think he got a push. I don't think Mighty Mouse has had that modern day push yet. So I'd say Speedy Gonzales. Good question, though. And MK says 8. Let's see, 8 because it tells you the guy is special while all the others are in the ground. He is flying and smiling, says Summoner. All righty. That's fair enough, Clint. But yeah, some of the minor stuff is fun. Did you try the new history of the DC universe? I read a little bit of it. It's a YouTube video that somebody's just making up shit that went along. I don't buy it. But then again, to me, you could stop at 52. That's the history of the DC universe. Excuse me just a second, kids. There we go. That's always fun. Hold on. I've heard both Batman and Deadpool crossovers were good. I skipped it. I don't want to buy Marvel or DC. Did you read those, Eric? Was that when you were reading new comics or the Batman Deadpool? I read it. It sucked. That's my thoughts on it. But I'm not a Deadpool fan. It just isn't good to me.
Less than no interest.
But yeah, I did not like the Batman Deadpool. Let's see. I really like Speedy Gonzales, says Desert Rose. And I like Slowpoke Rodriguez. Yeah, it wasn't even Latino liberals. It was just white liberals saying that's offensive. I know, right? Why the fuck are people listening? And y'all tell you what, it ain't. What it ain't. Say again.
It always is.
Yep. And it's always one sex. It's not all white liberals. It just tends to be bored freaking liberal housewives. I think Fluffy's last name is Iglesias, says Desert Rose, and Ethereal says 7 on this one. All righty. And the Roadrunner versus Speedy Gonzales Roadrunner. I think they've actually done that. No, it did end up in a tie. I think they did that race. That's somewhere. That exists. I never liked Deadpool either, says Michael Taylor. Deadpool is okay in doses. But you have to actually have a funny writer because they always try to tell jokes, and a lot of times the writer's just not funny. Alrighty. Affluent white female liberals. Awful. Hey, good. There you go. Did you make that up or did you find that? That's actually pretty cool. I like that one. I could dig on that one. Alrighty. And what we had here was 5 7s, taking out 1 10. 2 9s and 2 of the 7 8s, and this is an 8. Alrighty, and with that we have 1 7, 2 8s, 5 9s, and 2 10s. Like I said, we do have a contest at the end of the night, so that's cool. Deadpool Batman was all right. It just felt unnecessary, says Darth Kiddo, and with that we go for book 11. Alrighty. There we are. And Eric, issue number 48 is book 11, and it looks like this. Oh, wow. Okay.
I like this one. This is a 10.
I love this one. This one's fan-freaking-tastic, man. This one is a 10 for me as well. First of all, the fun nature of them showing a Mighty Mouse cartoon on the screen there. You've got all of the characters from Terry Toon. Even there's a name for that pig, gosh darn it. Somebody look up Terry Toon pig for us. But yeah, this is goddamn awesome. I like this one. This is a poster cover right here. All righty, and with that, we got 2 10s leaving the panel and going to the chat. Roadrunner, the coyote is after you. Roadrunner, if he catches you, you're through. That coyote, shit, I used to really can mow them down or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, I used to know all those words. That was my mother's favorite cartoon, so she actually watched the Bugs Bunny Roadrunner show with us. Clint says 10, and Jim Soren 10 as well. We have a 10 from Joe Rogers and a 10 from the Grand Admiral himself. How about this? Who was better, old more laid back Bee Gees or Disco Inferno Bee Gees? Oh, okay. So you mean the original Bee Gees versus Disco Inferno? You know, my wife will disagree with me on this one, but I like the Disco Bee Gees. But goddamn, the old Bee Gees were freaking awesome. Maybe I don't know, but I know my wife likes the older. How about you, Eric?
Well, the first Bee Gees album's in probably my all-time top 25. So you know where my answer is going to be. But you know, right before they went full disco, they did an album called Main Ingredient, I believe in 1975, which had just enough of the old sound and a little bit of the new. I like that a lot. I have nothing against disco Bee Gees, but I didn't like disco in general as a form of music to sit down and listen to. That's the kind of music you need to be somewhere doing things. So I'm going to say the older stuff.
You know what? I think I'm going to change my vote because there's so many good songs in the beginning. But MK did say 10, and Desert Rose agreed with him. All righty, and then Darth Kato agreed with that. Best cover so far. I like the old laid back Bee Gees more than disco Bee Gees, says Desert Rose. He's never going to run him down. Thank you. One Slate Dude says 10. Disco Bee Gees are my favorite. I could jam to that, says Clint. It's Oscar the Timid Pig. Thank you. When I think of Bee Gees, I think disco, so I'll go with that, says Darth Kato. How deep is your love? How deep is your love? How deep? Yep. Bee Gees, great band. I agree. And that is that. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to stop it right here because, Eric, we have an immaculate 10. It has been a while. 11 10s. 11. We have 11 10s. All righty. And I don't think we have a contest anymore. I don't think there's a song on that album that I don't like. I have pretty much every song they ever made. Plus, I have the piano music, guitar music, says Desert Rose. I'm an all-out Bee Gees fan. You and Gail both. All right, let's go for book 12. Last book of the night, ladies and gentlemen. There you go. And what do I need to do? Okay, let's see. Do you go for book 12? And book 12 is pretty cool image. I like this. I like the way he's drawn, the barrel chest. It's not as good as the last one, but you know what? I'm going to end on a high note. I'm going to give this one a 10. How about you, Eric?
Well, yeah, I have no problem giving this a 10 because we're not allowed to rank them any higher. So the book prior to this can only be a 10. But if it could have gone higher, it could have been more. But so yeah, this is a definite 10. It's the second best book I've seen in the last two books.
I know, right? MK says exactly. I totally agree. Love their songs and love New York mining disaster. Yeah, that was good. I don't think Andy was ever going to join them. What was that Shadow Dancer? Gail brought in an Andy Gibbs CD into our relationship. What was that? Shadow? No. For so long, you and me were finding each other for so long. That's the song that she really enjoyed. Forgot to vote, but not like it would change anything, says Ethereal. Now the Sesame Street song in my head is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's see. Grand Admiral is saying a 10 and Ethereal is saying an 8. And we have no, Andy was not interested. Oh, go ahead.
No, so while we're handing out plaudits to the Bee Gees, let's not forget the best thing that either one of them ever did, Justin Timberlake and Jimmy Fallon, as the two.
Oh my gosh, that is such a fun skit. It really is. All righty, so we also had a 9 from One Slick, a 6 from Darth Cato, a 10 from Jim Sorensen, and an 8 from Ken K. Scrolling down, we've got not as an into itself, but as a map, a sign pointing to other things. And let's see, Joe Rogers giving it an 8, and Desert Rose a 9. All righty. I'll see if that book is on Hoopla. I'll try to find it for free, but I'm sitting on the 5 compendiums of Spawn. Okay, I have no idea what Clint's talking about, but Clint gives this one a 10. And then we have, was Morgan Fairchild the reason why Andy took his life? I've never heard of that.
I didn't.
She was hot. But I've never heard of Morgan Fairchild being part of that. How about this? Since a lot of guys here always vote against them in my matches, Bon Jovi versus Billy Idol, and 9, cool cover, but not a fan of his Peter Griffin chin. Alrighty, we'll give it a 9. And say again.
I wasn't able to vote in this one because I fell asleep before I got to Billy Joel.
Was Billy Idol.
I mean, Billy Idol.
Okay. Bon Jovi is a lot better than Billy Idol. But Billy Idol has some great songs. I might be a little biased. That's Gail's favorite band, and we've listened to it a lot. And there are some good songs. He's got some good full albums too. I don't think I could say that about Billy Idol. He's got a really cool greatest hits album, but I don't think he's got full albums that I would listen to.
Who, Billy Idol?
Yeah.
Well, he was in a punk band called Generation X before he went solo. Mm-hmm. And I just think I'm not a huge Billy Idol fan, but I truly, I'm not doing a bit here. There's never been anything about Bon Jovi to like or dislike. I put him in the same category with Sheryl Crow. They are just there. They are the epitome of. Okay. They're like eating vanilla ice cream during COVID while you've lost your sense of taste. There's just nothing there.
You have nothing to glom onto. Okay. Clint says, I'll take Idol over Jovi. He's all right. Bon Jovi has a lot more songs that I like, says Darth Cato. I think that's how it falls for me, too. Because they're fine. Bon Jovi was never, I don't know if I would, even if I did the hair bands that I grew up with, I don't know where Bon Jovi would land in all of that. Would they be in the top 10 or not? Actually, I don't know who would be in the top 10. And what would you count as a hair band?
I always have to throw in, though, he has personal great taste in music.
Who?
Bon Jovi. So I told the story before that one of my favorite unknown bands, he was a friend of Springsteen in the 70s, is a guy named Johnny Lyon. He had a band called Southside Johnny and the Asbury Jukes. Mm-hmm. Well, Bon Jovi went to one of his shows. Lyons was too sick to play, so Bon Jovi filled in for him, meaning he knew every song well enough to do them. And when they asked him what his desert island music would be, it was stuff like Elvis Costello. So I respect his taste in music. If I'm not a fan of his music, I like him personally.
Well, let me get through this real quick, and we can continue this conversation. We do have extra time. We have 1-6 taking out one of the 5 10s, 4 8s taking out the rest, 3 9s are left. This does not join the 10s at the end of the evening. Here we go. This is a 9, and we have 1 7, 2 8s, and 1 2 3 4 5 6 9s tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Not a bad run. Not a bad run. What is this? Right off by the way, I'm going to start producing these videos. I don't know if it's going to be on the channel or if it's going to be on the Ko-Fi for the subscribers and everything. But I do keep scores. Right now, let's see, that would be 7 and 16 is 23. And then what was that? Oh, that'd be 54. So that would be 77. So this would be 100. The Mighty Mouse would score 107 at this point. So there you go. Good stuff. But with the videos I'm doing, I do that same thing for every issue. But that's actually something. I should try to score these, see where it goes. Because sometimes the rankings are different than the scores. Like when we'll have some books, like we'll say, "Oh, this is the best cover," but it wasn't scored the best. Tonight, I have a feeling that it's going to be exactly that. Let me get the as far as Bon Jovi, like I said, I've listened to him tons, and there's not an album I really dislike. It's just might be a little bit of overhearing because it is Gail's. But then again, I listen to Styx. No, that's not true. I did actually have a period where I've got to give Styx a rest. And it was in the 2000s where I didn't listen to him for like 2 or 3 years on any kind of regular basis. If a song came on, I'll listen to it. But but let's see. I mean, I cannot think of like who would be like, what would I put as the number one of the heavy metal hair bands? Because anybody who did any kind of hard rock or heavy metal was thrown into the hair band thing. Aerosmith was thrown into that, which probably actually would be my number one hard rock band of the 80s. And they started with that remake of Walk This Way by Run DMC. So that was like in the mid. Yeah, it was in the mid. Well, it was like 1986 when they did that. And then like 87 is when they came out with Permanent Vacation, which kind of revitalized their career with Dude Looks Like a Lady and about 6 other different singles.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Aerosmith, I consider them a rock band in the 70s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are they a hair band of the 80s?
They were Please Go Away in the 80s.
No, they did some songs in the 80s.
No, they did not. Now when you compare them,
but then again,
work.
Then again, what you loved about the 80s is music I hate. So you hating the music I liked.
And I'm gonna admit to my own shortcoming here. I still wouldn't have been a fan because I didn't like that kind of music. But if that had been a brand new band doing the same songs, sounding exactly the same, I probably would have liked it a little bit, or not liked them a little bit less than knowing that they were the band that did so much great stuff in the 70s. It's like a lot of bands that stay at the party too long. I've said that about that. I just can't. I keep expecting them to be who they were when they were great, and not everybody can deliver that. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, that actually does. That does. But I think Aerosmith, with me, Aerosmith has, what was it, like 4, maybe 5 great albums in the 70s. And then it was like A Night in the Rut, oh goodness, Done with Mirrors, which wasn't
Joe
those weren't
Perry-
good albums. They might have had
Perry quit.
they might have had a good song on it. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Didn't Joe Perry quit and basically took the sound of the band with him?
And a little bit, because Done with Mirrors just sucked.
Well, I was done with Aerosmith by then, so
I think a lot of people were, and that's why they needed to get straight and have that hiatus. All right, kids, let's figure out what we are going to send to the bracket fights here, and we could continue the music talk after if you guys want. But this is, let me share it. Let me share the board here. This is what we ended up with. It's a good night. I've kind of dug on this. I've been wanting to do Mighty Mouse and Underdog and all that kind of stuff for a while now. I think Underdog might be later this season, as a matter of fact. Alrighty, and these are the tens. We have book 1, which was issue number 40. And then we had book 2, which is issue number, whoops, I got to find it. Book 2, which is issue number 42. And then book 3, which was issue number 48. All righty. Excuse me. And let's see. We've got 1, 2, and 3. And I need your favorite and your least favorite, please, Eric.
Number 3 is my favorite. 1 is my least favorite.
All righty. I'm going to agree with that. 3 is favorite. 1 is least favorite. Tough call. Okay, let's see. Jim Sorensen says 3 and 2. All righty. And then we've got 2 and 3 from Clint. All right. Let's see. 2 and 1 from Grand Admiral. 3 and 2 from Darth Cato. It's Santana versus Elvis Costello. Who would you pick? I'm out of that game. And we get 3 and 2 from Michael Taylor. And 3 and 2 from MK. And Desert Road. Well, nope. Ethereal Dragon says 1 and 2. And then we have 3 and 2 from Desert Rose. This is tough because I feel the same about all 3 covers, says Clint. Yeah, all 3 of them were 10s from you. Yeah. Darth Cato. Okay. Let me see. This isn't really a con. You guys know where it's going to go, but I'm going to go through the motions anyway, as we have book 2 with 2 positives and 6 negatives falls to the back there. Book 1 was 1 positive, 3 negatives. And book 3 had 7 positives, 1 negative. It is going to the bracket fights, ladies and gentlemen. Yay! And it deserves it too. I mean, that is a really cool cover. I wouldn't just say for a Mighty Mouse. That's just actually a cool cover right there. That's done very well. It's I don't know. That's a poster cover right there. All righty. And with that, if you guys want to continue the music talk, I'm okay with it. Who would you pick between Eric? Was it Eric Clapton and who?
No, it was Elvis Costello and Santana.
Oh, yeah, Elvis Costello. I would pick between those, but I don't really know both of them very well. They're not.
Obviously, for me, Elvis is one of my favorites. Santana lasted from the late 60s well into the 2000s. Supernatural is like one of the top 50 selling albums of all time. And my favorite Santana song was from 1970. Black Magic Woman. So I respect, talent-wise, they're comparable. People don't realize how talented Elvis Costello is and was because a lot of people just remember him as that early punk guy with the funny glasses. But he's done albums with orchestras, jazz ensembles, country, everything. The man is a tremendous musician. And that little weird-looking dude married Diana Krall. That is an achievement. Look her up. And say, if anybody ever outkicked and covered more than Elvis Costello, you let me know. Now she's probably 60 now. Yeah. She was one of the, like, when hot.
Who isn't?
when like, you remember Bond, the classical chicks that dressed like whores and played, classical music. The Coors, Diana Krall, Candy Dulfer, when hot chicks that played non-traditional rock instruments were a thing. Well, she was pretty big for a while. I mean, I don't care for her brand of jazz, but yeah, I said that's so. Yeah.
I don't know where the Beatles stock came from. Yeah, I never realized how versatile the Beatles were till years later. They stopped playing live because their songs couldn't be heard over the screaming, and they decided to become a studio band where they tried to improve on their music and change their music. So a lot of people who think of the Beatles. Go ahead.
None of them ever really strayed outside of rock. Not to the extent that other artists did. Yeah, I mean, there's no telling what Lennon would have done. Although, honestly, I think the way he was going, I think he would have probably gotten out of music altogether and gotten into politics, and would have run on a far left platform in England. Who knows?
But a lot of people know them for the yeah era of their beginnings, but they really kind of matured as musicians in the later years.
But in the same, they went from their different kind of rock and roll to rock. To, but yeah, I mean, I said, they didn't do, they didn't do jazz or blues.
No,
anything like that. Even the Stones dabbled in other styles.
There are some bands who, right from get-go, did all sorts of styles of music because of the writers that were in the band. And you had like Queen, and yes, Styx had 3 different writers and 3 different styles. Then some of them would, like, I think Queen is the king of that, because they would do hard rock songs, and then they would do the operatic songs. They did a song on a ukulele. I really was impressed with the way Queen could put together an album, and no 2 songs could sound alike except for the voice of Freddie Mercury. So, some dad was at one of the first Judas Priest concerts in America, and his buddy got hit on by Rob Halford. I've known Halford was gay since the early 90s. Years before he came out of the club. A lot of it amazes me how people were fooled.
Clint, he came out of the closet.
He was wearing the outfit.
He came out of the closet wearing that outfit. I guess just maybe in those days we all listened to President Clinton. Don't ask, don't tell.
Yeah, you know what? I even remember I was 14 in middle school, and I remember having a guy go, "Boy George is gay?" I mean, he was legitimately surprised when it was announced Boy George was gay. Like, really? You didn't know that one? Because it was kind of, yeah. But then everybody was a little bit flashy in the 80s, and you would have bands like, oh goodness, Buster Poindexter. What's that?
David Johansen.
And they were always, they were always a little bit more glam.
Well, yeah, but the glam guys weren't gay. They were just they were playing a role like David Bowie, God, I guess I don't think T-Rex dressed funny,
but that's the thing. In the 80s, you did have people who dressed like that, and they weren't necessarily gay. So okay, all right.
Yeah, but Boy George that was pretty obvious.
Boy George was flaming. Yeah, that was okay. He's gay. Priest always looked like they were straight out of the Blue Oyster, says Grand Admiral. Not knowing Boy George is gay is like not knowing water is wet. I understand the confusion because you had David Bowie. Yeah, it was the style at the time to have that, and we didn't even think anything of it. And now somebody would do it, and he's so brave. And no, it's just the thing that rock people did in the time.
Let's not forget
nobody gave a shit either.
The famous John Matrix quote. Why don't they just call him Girl George? It would cut down on all the confusion.
Yeah, I don't know. Richard Simmons was gay as a kid. I thought he was just happy. Yeah, that one I figured out as I got older. I didn't quite understand because it was like, hey, everybody, yay! And yeah. But when it was like, Richard Simmons is gay, it's like, yeah, okay. Yeah, I see that. It's like, okay, yeah. But nobody gave a shit. More people give a shit now than we did in the 80s. Nobody gave a shit.
I said, yeah. I'm sorry. Well, everything was just more fun back then. I mean, hell, Paul Lynde played married fathers with children in sitcoms.
Yeah.
Nobody was fooled, but we didn't care.
Nobody gave a shit. Yeah. It's just something how everything was more fun in the 80s than it is now. I think that's a big problem. It seems like nobody's having fun anymore.
The 80s were the last truly fun decade because you could disappear. I mean, you could in the 90s as well, but the 90s ushered in political correctness. And by the end of the 90s, it had taken hold. And then then everybody got cell phones, so there was no getting away from anything. And then the cell phones could start living your lives for you. Yeah, I said, people always say, well, in my day, we went out and played. We did things. We went outside. We didn't come back in until it was dark. And I used to rail on that too. And then, I finally changed my answer to. Yeah. And if we could turn on a computer and look at porn all day, we would have never left the house either.
That's true. We were the ones that were.
Yeah, we went out all day
because we were lucky if we filmed.
Else to do. It's great. I wouldn't trade it for anything because, like I said, it taught us intrapersonal, relationships and how to have them. So scary.
I remember me and my friends hit the jackpot. We found an abandoned house in a tire field. It was a bunch of woods that was by an old mechanics thing. The tires had they've been pushed to, I don't know. It's just like a forest grew up all around these tires, and there was an abandoned house, and in that abandoned house was a shit ton of Penthouse and Playboy magazines. I was like, oh my Lord in heaven. That was jackpot. You just did not get that kind of lucky as far as being at the time, I guess, what was that, about 11, 12 years old? Yeah. Wow. And we used to have fun too. We found tarps and we would stretch them over the tire things, and we would make a little trampoline out of it and everything, jump out of the trees onto the tires. Man, we did some dangerous, stupid stuff because we were literally in the middle of the woods. If we broke something, even just to get to a road, we were hauling our ass somewhere.
We would take 8-track tapes, pull the tape out of them, and run them across, like a pole, like a street sign and a telephone pole across the street, and it looked like the kind of metal that you used to do to fasten like loads of bricks. So cars would come down the road, see that, stop, thinking because they didn't want to hit that metal band, and they'd get out and they'd go to touch it and realize it was just like a 8-track tape. And wherever we were hiding, we could hear the "God damn it!"
We did that one night. We did that with garden hoses. We blocked off the 2 exits. We lived in a place called Beacon Hill. I think the statute of limitations is okay, but we took people's garden hoses out of their yards and we wrapped them around post to post, and we blocked the way out of the way out of our neighborhood.
Yeah, we didn't do it for that. We did it because we knew when the driver got out and realized that it was a flimsy piece of tape that he could have just driven right through, they would throw tantrums getting back in their cars for wasting their time, because we had no desire to block traffic or cause damage. We just like you son of a.
We had cops. There was one time where there was a helicopter kind of hovering above the construction site next to our neighborhood because we had caused a little bit of damage there, and because we had the cops called on us before for all the mischief that we had gotten into. It wasn't Robert. It was a friend of ours named John. Not Rob from Extreme Movie Show, but our friend John. We went to, we were in the woods and we brought out our, we stole pans and such, and we had a little camp out, and we told John put out the fire, but he wanted to see what happened if he didn't put out the fire. And so we woke up to the forest, to the woods on fire. So after a while, we had cops hovering and watching the neighborhood, in particular our street. I was like, I don't think we're going out tonight, guys.
Good. Kind of in that vein. A local legend, DJ or radio personality who died recently, had been a good friend of my brother's. They used to do a show in the 80s called Sports or Consequences, and this was before the internet, and people would call him in and try to stump him on trivia questions. Well, what they didn't know is whenever they couldn't answer one, they would call Phil at his store, and he would answer them for him. But the guy that did it was a guy named Gary Burbank, and he was known to go out and have a good time on occasion. Well, there was another guy at the station who had done the helicopter traffic reports in the morning, and he ended up becoming like the big cheese of the station. And whenever this Burbank guy would annoy him while they were out, and he knew that he'd been out drinking late the night before, he would fly his helicopter over his house at like 6 a.m. And I don't know if you know how loud a helicopter is. But
yeah, I do. One was hanging out outside my house. Yeah.
And now
funny.
Imagine having just gotten to sleep like 2 hours earlier from being drunk all night.
Let's see. We got, which show did you think was less PC, All in the Family or Married with Children? Married with Children. All in the Family, you had Archie Bunker, but you also had Meathead, and it was kind of a Republican versus Democrat, which is kind of funny because there was not a Republican on that set.
No, and
but yeah, I'd probably go with Married with Children.
Yeah, All in the Family broke ground. They did stuff that you already couldn't do by the time Married with Children came along. Married with Children,
most definitely, yeah.
They trafficked in weight and sex jokes. Whereas All in the Family dealt with race, sexuality. Real, and they also, remember the episode where Edith got raped? I mean, that show was brilliant. And it's a shame that in just 3 or 4 generations, the kids are so fragile that they can't handle any of that anymore, because that show was brilliant.
I'm seeing more and more clips pop up. I think All in the Family can have a resurgence right now, and it'd be okay. I think there's a lot of people. The pendulum has swung, and I think a lot of people are ready for a show like All in the Family at this point. What was it just recently? With the landman,
yeah,
and the pronouns thing. Yeah, I think people are ready. I really do. I think people are ready for the pendulum to swing back into reality.
Hope so, but
to tell you the truth,
it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the next couple of years, because, I said, England, Canada, and Australia are working to ban X. So if they're successful in doing that, and it'll also be interesting to see, and oddly enough, what happens in Iran the next couple of days. We could see a global shift in the next couple of years, or 5 years from now, it'll all be over, and we're all going to be living under authoritarian rule. I'm
actually surprised I haven't been kicked. I'm surprised I haven't been kicked, because I've been telling, what was it today? The whole Australian thing with the bill and everything. I said, you guys need a good gun runner and a whole bunch of people willing to start a revolt. I say the same thing to English people as well. Oh, whatever. I can't believe this guy. We're going to fight. No, you're not. You're not going to fight. You already done. You gave your country away. Fighting, in order to fight right now, you got to fight. I'm sorry, but I think America's going to go in the same direction. I think we've got a fucking city of Islam in Texas. We're going to end up needing to go in the same direction.
Yeah, it's never going to happen all the way here, because there are too many guns. But the countries that gave up their guns and then like to lecture us because their murder rate's down, so and your freedom is gone. What would you rather have? I mean, ours is eroded, but it isn't gone.
The fact that, what was it, like 12,000 people have been arrested for Twitter posts? Fuck that. And the fact that, you know what? Who doesn't have guns either? The cops. Get it together. Get a fucking neighborhood together. The cops show up at somebody's house to arrest someone for a post. Beat the fuck out of them. Don't stand for that. I mean, at this point, I think England is to the point where they need to overthrow that government, because that government isn't looking out for them. That government is looking out for some fucking reason for Islam. And that's happened in Australia too. 15 people killed by Islamics. And this guy goes, oh, we need a bill to protect fucking Islam. Why? What is the fucking appeal? I don't get it. These people need to take up arms. I understand this video needs to be taken down now, or this part needs to be flipped out, because I'm basically calling, but it's just amazing to me that they give in. They are in England is a conquered nation, and they were conquered by the English. They were conquered by, what's his name, Stormare or whatever it is, and then handed to a foreign power.
Well, Sadiq Khan has been the mayor of London for about 10 years now.
Oh, go on.
No, I'm sorry.
I was speaking over you. I apologize. Go on ahead, man.
No, that's fine. But the original point was, I said, you said that we might be ready for another show like All in the Family. It's 55 years later. Those issues, they've all been resolved, but now it's the people themselves that can't deal with anything that even remotely makes them uncomfortable. So we've just, instead of dealing with those issues, we've just made them things you can't talk about, because race relations is a one-way street now. If you're not white, you can say whatever you want. If you are white, The only way you can say anything bad about anybody that's not white is you need a proxy that looks like them. That's why the black conservatives are so hated, because what are you going to, you can call them racist, but it doesn't have the same weight when they're the same color. Yeah. So that's why the left hates black conservatives so much.
I'll answer this one, and then we're going to say goodnight here, guys. Did I hear about Tucker Carlson comparing the good lady shot by ICE to Charlie? I'll compare it right now. Charlie Kirk's murder was way indifferent than the good. Look, one thing that we've forgotten in the argument is we are basically calling for truth. We're calling for fact, even not even just truth. We're calling for fact. Is that it's tragic. You know, it's not a tragedy as the Charlie Kirk murder was tragic. I don't want this woman to lose her life. I don't want to. She's, for as horrible a person this person she was, and by all accounts, she was a fuck. She was just a bad person, and in the end, she gave up her children to die, and more so, she was probably protecting or trying to protect a child trafficker or a drug dealer. These idiots who buy in, no, and it's not even that they buy into everything that the left is throwing at them. They go to these places to learn how to, they don't give a fuck what it is. You could call it cause number 12, and they're going to be on the street holding up whatever sign they're given. Most of the time when you see these people interviewed, they don't know what they're protesting in the first place. It's their job. It's their job to go and scream something. And that's what this lady was doing. And that's what this lady, she chose death. At the very least, let's take death out of the picture. Let's say that never happened. At the very least, this dumbass said, I will go to jail instead of be with my kids. She chose that over her children. No, this is not a Charlie Kirk situation. Yeah, Charlie Kirk said, let's calm down and talk.
Tucker's way too full of Tucker right now. Yeah. But here's a little other food for thought. American universities have spent the last 2 years protesting the so-called genocide in Gaza. Well, there is a genocide going on right now. 1,200 Iranian.
Yep, literally an actual. Yeah.
And who knows how many today. If the U.S. doesn't go in, and I'm usually 100% against that, but it's not the people, it's the regime. If that regime isn't toppled, that number is going to skyrocket. Somebody please call me in any day or night. Call me and wake me up as soon as you see one college student protesting that. I'll wait. And that's another reason why we are, we've got a lot of work to do in this country if we're ever going to get back any semblance of what we should be. And this would be the perfect year to do it.
In the midterms, vote. In the midterms, vote. We can't lose. We can't lose it. We lose. I actually believe we lose. We lose the country. It's done. Anyway, on that happy note, you kids have a great night. Between those safe spaces now, binkies for the with that, kids, thank you very much for hanging out with us. And as always, thank you very, very much for watching. See you Friday or maybe tomorrow with some movies.
Good night.